Hey guys, welcome back to Rob's Retro Garage. If this is your first time here, then welcome, and if you're a returning viewer, then welcome back. I'm glad to have you. So today, now that we've removed the gas tank, see the gas tank's gone, it makes it a little easier. Well, at least I thought it was going to make it easier. If I removed the shield for the gas tank, it might make it easier. But we're going to try taking the bumper off. That's the project for today, or for the next couple of days. It's going to take me a little while. So you remember the frustrations I had getting the front off? Well, it's going to be the same with the rear. So these studs right here, let me zoom in. These studs right here have 3/8 inch bolts or hex heads on them. See, like that one. And there's one right there that just broke off. I tried taking a couple of these off. This one right here came off easily. That one didn't have one on it. And that one just snapped. I'm okay if they snap because I'm not going to reuse these things again. But anyway, so that's what we're doing today. And like I said, it takes a 3/8 inch. I had to use a ratcheting wrench to get in there. I can't get my Craftsman ratchet or my my Milwaukee auto ratchet in there to get those out. But anyway, there's several of these around, as you can see here as we pan around. And it's gonna be just as big of a pain in the ass getting these things off as it was getting the ones in the front off. So I'll slowly take them off, and we'll update progress as I go. All right, well, I think I got them all. Let's see. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. Can't see it because it broke, but 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. It looks like there's 17. Maybe I miscounted. We'll count the screws that I have. But it should be loose. So let me set this up and I'll see if we can pull it off. Okay, so this thing doesn't want to come off, but me and my impatience, I've damaged it. So that can be repaired with a little fiberglass. So I'm not terribly worried about that. But I did find a couple of other things that I did not know about. There was a screw there, and there. Those are 3/8. These two just hold on the license plate. They don't have anything to do with the other side. But here's another problem that I've run into. See these things? There's 1, 2, 3. And then over here, the same 1, 2, 3. And over here. So I'm going to have to go up inside again. And I think they're Phillips head, so I'm going to have to get a Phillips head screwdriver and take those 12 out, and then the bumper can come off. I'm going to continue the disassembly of the bumper. So I think the first thing, probably the easiest thing that I'm going to take off are going to be these, the tail light housings. And it looks like, from what I can see here, there's just 3 bolts that are holding that on. There doesn't appear to be anything in the back. So let's see what size those are. Let's try 7/16. Nope. I'm sorry, that was 3/8. Let's try 7/16. 7/16 is just a little bit too big. Maybe this was right. Maybe I've just got too much schmutz around it. Yep, that is right. So it's 3/8. All right. that moves pretty easily. So there's that. Once I get these loose, I can use my other ratchet to get them out. And I'm going to send this out, and I'm going to send some other stuff out to have it sandblasted by the same people that did the last job for me. They did fantastic. Those came out almost too easily. I'm scared. Just taking the front off, if you remember my video, that was a pain in the ass. Definitely don't want a repeat of that. And it's January now. I did that when it was in June, I think it was. And oh my God, was that hot. I was sweating like a freaking pig that day. Alright. Grab a Ziploc bag here. Those bolts are pretty nasty, but we'll get those. Alright, so there's something still holding it on. There might actually be some bolts back there holding that on. I'll have to research that. Let me go look in the manual and I'll come right back. Alright, let's talk about this picture versus what's there. Alright, so this part here that looks like a sort of rubber cover on it is that part right there that goes all the way across. All right, let me zoom in a little bit if it'll let me. See those the two bolts in the back, and then you've got the two open bolts. Those two open holes are where that part is, going right across there. But it looks like I'm missing something. I'm missing this part. It's supposed to sit in between, and it bolts down to those two open holes right there and right there. So I'm missing that. I don't really know what that is, but so that means somebody has been in here. Somehow somebody has been in here and removed some things. So I suspect that means it was either an accident or they just replaced the bumper for whatever reason. But it doesn't look like anything else is damaged back there. So then we move here, and this is what it'll look like. See those three bolts there. There's one just to the right of it, and then there's one right about there, and there's one over there, and there's 1, 2, 3 right there. So that matches up with those 3 bolts and those 3 bolts. So it looks like, for the most part, everything's there except for this part here that I'm missing, which you can see on the previous page. Right? And then we move up here, and I've got to remove that, and then there are these shims in there. Don't know how many shims there are, and then there are these sort of rounded posts sticking out with these flat heads on them, and I've got all that stuff. I mean, it's obvious it's on there. That's what's holding this on. So, but let me go back and look and see if I can't figure out exactly what is holding those tail lights on, the tail light brackets on these things right here. And we'll come back. Okay, well, I found out what's holding it in. There's a bolt there and one right there. And then over here on the same side. And that looks like that's about all that's holding it in. There should be 2 bolts right there. You see where those 2 empty holes are on the end of that flange. There should be 2 bolts there. But if you look over here, there's 1 bolt at the top and 1 missing at the bottom. So somebody's definitely been in here before. Anyway, let's go ahead and find out what size socket that'll take, and we'll get those off. And there's the culprit right there. It's really hard to see. It's on the back side of that bracket, and it's smaller than the 3/8 that I was using. I haven't figured out exactly what it is yet, but that's the culprit. Okay, it turns out that was a 3/8 after all. And it's coming out pretty smoothly so far, knock on wood. Now keep in mind this is a 77, so your mileage may vary. See, it's moving already. There it goes. And it came loose. It's coming loose. There it is. 3/8. And that's what got it off. So you've got 1, 2 in the back, 3 actually. 3 there. And then you've got these 1, 2, 3 that hold it down. 1, 2, 3. So it's got 6 bolts holding this thing on. So that's one off. Now let's go take the other one. Okay, I have to come back and make a correction. There's 8 bolts that hold this thing on, and I lied to you. So there's 1, 2, 3, and then on the back, there's 4, 5, 6, and then over here on the side, there should be 2 bolts in this bracket on the side. So there should be 8 bolts total on each side holding that in. So that's my mea culpa, my correction. What else could I do wrong, right? I told you I'm an idiot anyway. So 8 bolts, not 6. So now we're going to turn our attention to this thing. There's another one over here. And you can see this has 4 bolts in it. And according to the diagrams, there's a weld nut on the back of those, one of those square brackets that's been welded on. So these should go right into that. So I shouldn't have any problem taking these out, theoretically. Anyway, I say that before I do it. But, all right, so let's see. Put my ratchet over here, and I will bet you these are all the same size. They look like they're the same size. But 3/8 is too small for that. So I'll bet you they're a half. And I don't know where my half socket is. Yep, they're a little bit bigger than that. Let's go up. Oops, sorry. Let's go up to 9/16 and see if they're 9/16. Nope, so they're definitely a half. All right, I'll have to hunt down my 1/2-inch socket and come back. All right, well, these are definitely a 1/2 inch. So let's get them loose. That was really loose. broken loose. That one's really loose. So I'm more convinced than ever that somebody has been in this thing. I mean, after 40, well, it's a 77 and it's 2024 now. So that's 37 years. 97, 2007, 17, 47 years. Wow. Trying to go back to the fountain of youth here. All right, well, let's get these out. Those are coming out easy peasy lemon squeezy. There we go. That came off easy enough. So now I'll go do the other one, and then I'll take this end bracket off right here. You can't see it yet, but I'll show it to you before I take it off. All right, so this thing right here is what I'm calling the end bracket. I'll look in the book to see what the name of it actually is, but it looks like it's only got these two bolts holding it in, and the other two bolts that should be holding it in are not there anymore. I took one of them out, the other one wasn't there. So let's go ahead and remove this. I'll have to research what that bolt right there is. That was easy enough. All right, and I'll go take the one off on the other side. Okay, next task is I'm going to take these 6 bolts off. And after that, I'm going to go back and I'm going to drill out those rivets, those 3 rivets that are left. And then I think this whole bar will come off after I take, there's 4 bolts there with 4 shims on the left side, and there's 4 bolts here with 2 shims on the right side. So if I take those 4 bolts and those 4 bolts off, this should come right off. Maybe at least the top part of it will come, yeah, that's what will happen, is the top part will come off, I think. And I don't know, we'll see what happens. Okay, so these 6 bolts on the top are 9/16. I took one out just to make sure that I knew what I was dealing with. And it's got a nut on the back. So it goes down like that, right? This is the top, this is the bottom, and it's just got a little nut that sits on there like so. So far, those 2 have been nice and easy. Let's hope the rest are like that. So much for that. Yeah, that's spinning on the back. So let's see, where's my 9/16? Get my 9/16. Stubby. Oh, stubby. needed old stubby. That's 3. You come at this from the other side, so I'll get in the way of the camera. They break loose pretty easy. It's just that initial turn, and after that they're fine. Oh, that one was toughy. You're gonna need old stubby once more. Turn without turning the nut. Yes, there we go. Yes, baby. This is how I wanted it to come apart. Obviously, it's how we all want it to come apart, right? But we don't always get that lucky. So, all right, let me bag those, bag and tag those, and we'll come back. All right, well, let's put a little fluid on it to help it drill through. I got my googlies on. Always wear your face protection. Well, it's spinning in there. There we go. Let's move down here to the next one, which happens to be right there. I might go up a size in this drill bit. I'll tell you what I was using in just a second. This was the 5/32. So let's go up one size to the, is it 3/16? 6/32 would be 3/16. So that's the right one for the next size up. I think that hole was a little small. That's what she said last night. So put a little blaster on it to use for that for, I didn't finish my thought, to use for drill fluid. Keep the drill cool. There we go. That was just perfect for that. me go back over here and finish this one. See if it'll let me. Push it on out. Yep, got the rest of it through. All right, that's 2. Let me move some stuff over. I've got the last one right there. A little more blaster on this. Rotate the head a little for her pleasure. Got some movement on the head there. Perfect. That's just a perfect fit for those other 2 holes that didn't have the rivets in them. So, all right, we got that bottom part off. I think that's about enough for tonight. So what I'll do is we'll come back tomorrow and we'll take these bolts off back here. We'll take those off and take these off. There's 4 here. We'll take those off and pull this assembly bar down, and we'll see where we're at then. Okay, so we're going to try and take these off. Now, I don't know why GM Engineering did this. You would think since they're opposite of each other, they'd be the same size nuts, but this is an 11/16 and this is a 5/8. All 4 of these are 5/8. All 4 of those are 11/16. It's the same on the other side. And I thought for sure I was going to need a breaker bar to get these loose, but this one, I tested it and it came loose. So let's see if we can be so lucky with the rest of these. I doubt it, but you never know. Well, that moved. Try this one. That came loose easily enough. I know once I get them all loose, I'll get my auto in here. Where's my hammer? Let me go get my hammer. See if that, yep. So I got that loose. Here's my 5/8. We'll see how this does. Why did that go the other way? No, wait. I'm really shocked that those turn as easily as they do. I thought for sure I'd have to get a breaker, put some heat on them, or something. Should I change the name of this channel to Busted Knuckles Garage? There's already somebody with that name, but yeah. Oh, you heard that one pop. Dropping everything. All right, let me go get my auto ratchet and we'll spin those things off. That's a long bolt. That's what she said last night. Huh? But yeah, so that came right off. I'm going to leave one in on each side so this thing doesn't fall off on this. And we named this the Busted Toesies Garage because I definitely don't want that. I love this little thing. If y'all can ever get one of these, cordless ratchet. Oh baby, that's money. So easy to use. Oh wait. Okay, I didn't even bother to look, but there is something on the back of that. It's getting loose. There's a plate on the back of that I did not, or not a plate, but a head, a nut on the back of the bolt. So that was 11/16. Let me go find the stubby and see if we can get that out. Okay, I tested taking one out. And the nut itself, I don't know if you can really see that. The light's not that great. But that's an 11/16 nut and an 11/16 hex head on that bolt. And that's on the plate right there that holds it on to the frame. So put that back on, set that off to the side, and we let the work commence, or as they say in French, commencer, to begin. Okay, that's on there. I know you really can't see, my hands are in the way, but let me get my ratchet, because that is too tight for that to turn. Something sharp down there. I'm not sure what it is. Looks like it might be holding a ground on, but it's almost like a little razor blade sticking out. I'll show you what I'm talking about in just a second. think that's good enough that, yep, that got it the rest of the way. Oops. I lost stubby. All right. And there it is. Nuts on it for safekeeping. I'm gonna have to get in there and investigate how I'm gonna get those other two off. I'm not sure exactly how that's gonna work because this is the open part here and this isn't open. I mean, it's open right there. There's like a little slit right here that you can stick your finger in, but I don't know if that's big enough for a socket to go in there or not. So we'll have to investigate that. But in the meantime, I'm going to move to the other side and I'm going to get the other ones done. You know what? I bet I was doing it the wrong way. I'm fucking stupid. That one I just busted and I didn't need to bust it. Rob. I got those free. I am fucking stupid. I told you I'm an idiot. We all make mistakes in real time though, don't we? All right. Lefty loosey, righty tighty. This is going lefty. On there, go over here. It's still kind of tight. Let's give it another quarter of a turn. Half a turn. All right. So I have to get my 1/2 inch ratchet for that. Sorry, bumped the camera. starting to bind up. It's kind of hard to work where you can't see, you know. Taking a lot of blaster. Get it on the back of those threads. That might make the world of difference. Some of it can turn by finger. Then it gets to the point where it binds. Hey, I think it's success. God, that nut's hot. Got the hot nuts. All right, so you saw that shim come loose. So that's 2 shims on the driver's side, or passenger side, and 4 shims. So 2 shims here, 4 shims over there. Okay, so now let me investigate those inner 2 bolts. Sorry about that. I got so far ahead of myself, I forgot to record it, but I did get those 2 off. There's an open area inside the bumper that I just couldn't see because of this thing. There's some type of rubber material maybe on top of it, and I thought it was metal at first just from looking at it. But anyway, I was able to get a wrench, a stubby wrench on the back of the bolts, and just spin them right off. It's much easier than the 2 on this side. And then I spun that one off and just lowered it to the ground. It's not so heavy that you can't lift it or hold it up. So I'm going to move to the other side, and I'll let you see me take that side of the bumper off, and then we'll investigate this just a little bit more, because obviously it's loose. I mean, well, that didn't move, but those 4 bolts are out, so I'm not sure what else is holding this thing in. It's probably something internally. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. All right, and here we are on the other side. It just came right off. I'd say altogether that thing weighs 30 pounds maybe. So it's not terribly heavy. But there were 4 shims on this side and 2 shims on the other side. So let me bag all this stuff up, get it tagged and marked correctly, and then I'll come back and we'll spin those 2 bolts off and see what we've got. Okay guys, since I got ahead of myself the last time and didn't show you how I got these bolts off, even though I told you, I'll show you this time. You see, there they are in the frame, and you see this channel here goes all the way across to the other side, and that's where the other 2 were on the right side. So we're going to go back and look on the left side, or the driver's side. And you can see that they're fairly easy to get to, so I'm just going to put a stubby wrench on both of them, and then I'm going to go outside and I'm going to spin those off. But that's how you get them off. I've got a stubby here. It was magnetically stuck to my flashlight. And there they are. So, no trouble at all. All right, so let's inspect this. This part right there is that. So it shows here that there is a screw right there with a nut on the other end of it, but I think that's inside the frame, so I'm not sure that I'll really get that off. And it shows there's a bolt right there that bolts into that side of it. So I imagine you have to remove that before you can take that off. But anyway, let's get a little closer look. Rear bumper bar inner. So I'm thinking that's what I've got to get out. And I don't know how I'm going to get in there to get that. That should be fairly easy because that's on the outside. Which, let's see if we can see it just from looking in. Oh, that's a, I didn't realize that was a electric antenna. Huh. Well, that's interesting. I didn't know that was even on here. It's not on the spec sheet as having an electric antenna, or on the trim tag as having an electric antenna. So that's interesting. Huh. But anyway, there's, I don't know if you can see where I'm pointing. It's right in the, my phone is right in the shadow right there, but it's right in there. See it right there? My finger's pointing to it. I had to move the antenna out of the way a little bit. But that's it right there. So if I take that off, then there's a screw, and you can see there's something in there, right? So that's the bar, the bar in there. Let's look on the other side. It's easier to see. There's the, right there. You can see that, but I don't know how the hell I'm gonna get in there. That right there is just to hold this shield on. This is a shield over the gas tank. So I guess maybe I need to get that out of the way. But there's no way. Let's get under here and look. So right there is the screw. The screws that hold that shield on. So I'll need to take that off, I guess. And that's the hanger, what's left of the hanger for the exhaust. I don't remember what was right there, but I've got video of me removing it, I know. So, what's on this side? There's the, right there. But I don't think I can get in there. What's in there? Is there anything in there? I don't see. I know there is, though. Yeah. Yeah, it's right there. I don't know how the hell I'm going to get that thing out. I guess I'm not. Well, there's a window right there inside. Maybe that's how I get it off. I don't know if you can see it or not. Right there where my hand is. Right there. Let's look at the other side. I'm sure it's exactly the same. Is there a hole? Yeah, there's a hole right there. I can't feel anything. I'm putting my finger inside it. I'm fingering her. And I can't feel anything in there. So I think I'll just have to leave that on and just have that stripped and blasted. I don't think those are going to come off. But that's okay. I can rehab that hardware. So that'll be good. You know what? I was not happy with the way that I left this thing because I know you can get this thing out. And after doing a little research, I figured out that it's that bolt right there, just between, just to the left of the frame and to the right of that, that antenna. So that's the bolt, and it releases this entire piece. So I'm gonna try and get that out. So let me figure out what size socket that is, and we'll pop that one out, and then I'll get the one out on the other side. Okay, I thought y'all might want to see this. I got the one out on the other side, and this one I just popped loose, and it's, see how easily it's moving. There's a little tight holding it on. I don't think this thing's gonna fall out on me, but you never know. Got my arm underneath it. That bolt's almost completely out. back up. Just go ahead and pull this thing. Look at all that dust that came out. And there it is. So, and there's the bracket on the end. The bracket, the only purpose that bracket serves is to act as a point for that bolt to attach this to the frame. So anyway, that one's out, the other one's out, and we're good to go. One last note, this bolt was an 11/16. That's what it took to get it out. So